Hi, Sue Cooper here, owner of Lazy Dog Adventures and author of Millionaire and Flip Flops down here in Key West, Florida. I am using the boat today as my office, so giving you a beautiful backdrop of the Gulf. Today I wanted to share with you 7 books that have changed my life, changed the way I do business. These are great, I think, for anyone, whether you're an entrepreneur, a small business startup, or big business. I personally feel like it's not just business, but lifestyle, fitness, everything I do, it is the same. You know, you don't want to be one person in business and one person outside of business. So it's all intertwined. It's about being who you are in all elements of your life. So the first book that really changed my life, I actually don't have a copy of it here because it was cassette tapes back in 1997. It was Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power, and it was a 30-day cassette tape. You're supposed to do 1 tape a day. I busted through it in 15 days because I just wanted change so bad. I was really unhappy. And the thing about the book, well, about the audio cassette, what it really taught me was that I had control of my life, and it was really up to me and nobody else. And instead of relying on others to see the changes, it was really looking in, figuring out what I wanted, even though if I didn't know specifically what I wanted to do, it just meant really just taking action and starting to make some steps in any direction other than what I was in. It also taught me the power of using your body to change your outside influences, to change your mood. They're really connected, your mind and your body, and they can really help each other. So anyway, thank you to Tony Robbins. I had the pleasure of meeting him for the first time this year, and I gave him a big bear hug, and I told him, thank you so much, you changed my life. And he said, no, Sue, you did. And that was also a really great message, because it does ultimately come down to you. You're the only one that really can change your life. So the next book I have, well, I'm going to go with The 4-Hour Workweek. This one's great. Bottom line, it really taught me to take myself out of my business, for my business to run a little bit smoother and allow me to work on growing the business. So this is a definite read. Definitely, I've shared this one with a gazillion people. This is the original version. There is a new updated and expanded version. I love everything Tim Ferriss puts out, by the way. Richard Branson. This is like a version. There's another one, is Losing My Virginity. He is I think a great business model for anybody in business. And for me, his say yes attitude, and then figure it out as you go, is the way I've lived my life from as early as I can remember. I guess I was channeling my inner Richard Branson in that. You don't have to know how to do it, you just have to do it, and that makes the difference from good to great. He also taught me about personal branding, and now it's even more important because of the internet these days and social media. You really become an extension of your brand. So it's really important to figure out who you are and make sure you align with your brand or with your company, and you can actually use your personal experiences to enhance the image of your brand, and vice versa. The next book I'll say is Writing Down the Bones. Not a writer. I did write a book because I believed I had something to say. I also wanted the experience of how to write a book. So a friend of mine gave me this book, and the thing that I got out of it the most, I think, is that I learned how to free write. So much so that I created great practices within myself. So the one thing I never have is writer's block, thanks to this book. It's a great read. Definitely recommend to anybody who wants to write, whether it be blogs or books. It's just really good practices to get your mind working in a little different directions. 5 love languages. No, we're not going to talk about relationships. Well, yes, we are actually, but not the kind you think. This is more about the relationships you have with everyone, from yourself to employees, staff, customers, whoever it may be. Relationships are really the one thing, if I was going to stress on one thing, that is bottom line, the reason for success. It's all in your relationships, happiness and business, whatever it may be. But it talks about these love tanks basically, but where I kind of apply it is more in communicating with my staff and my customers, and you need to understand how they want to be communicated with, rather than just communicating the way you want to, and doing what you can to fill other people's love tanks the way they want them filled, whether it be through communication or whether it be through love or gifts or whatever it may be. It's a great read. This is originally, I think, from 1975. I did not read it back then. I was only 7 then, but anyway, this is a great read. They've come out with a bunch of other editions that are specific for business, but I like the original one. Grab the purple one. The next one is Ho'oponopono, which I don't have. I have as a book because I did it as a 5 CD set, and I really liked it. The story, there's a lot of stories about this doctor who healed the whole psych ward, but basically the Ho'oponopono from the cassettes is more about losing my train of thought. It's almost too quiet out here. The phrase is a mantra. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And that mantra you can actually use to sort of heal yourself and heal others. If you're in a difficult situation, I've actually used it without anybody knowing, and just repeating it and repeating it. It's a very healing mantra. It gets into a lot more, but definitely check that one out. And then, of course, I have to add Millionaire Flip-Flops, and not for the reason that you think, maybe, or I don't know what you think, but the reason this book is so important and has changed my life is because back when I was in 10th grade, my English teacher thought I would amount to pretty much nothing. So, to me, it was this book is a symbol that you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it. You can hire your weaknesses, and in my case, I needed an editor. I had something I wanted to say, and I was able to easily write it and put it out thanks to writing down the bones. And with that, I then gave it to an editor to piece it together and also edit it. So to me, this book represents that you can do whatever you put your mind to. So you don't have to know how. We have Google for that. So anyway, those are my picks. I do have links. If you check out the links in my description down below, you can hook them up right through Amazon. And any other questions, let me know. Contact me. I'm starting a new Facebook group, so jump in that group and we can share some of your favorite books that have changed your life. I'd love to hear about them. And I actually get through a lot more books these days just by downloading on iTunes on my iPhone. I listen to them when I run, I listen to them when I cook, in the car, whatever it is. I get through a lot more books that way, but there's nothing like the old-fashioned way. So, all right, I hope you enjoy, and let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon.